Well guys, how are you doing today? Listen, it is not your effort that creates your reality. It is your state of being that creates reality. Now, there's a lot of misconception or wrong ideas about manifestation. And one of the biggest misconception in manifestation is when I'm manifesting something, I am creating something. Manifestation is never about creation. It's about aligning. And the ones who get it will manifest like this. The ones who don't will kind of struggle to do it. So you have to get that into your head. Drill it in, write it down. Manifesting is not about creating. It's about aligning. The next thing about the big misconception is creation. I have to generate what I want. Untrue. Totally false. The truth is creation was done, whatever. It's done deal. There's nothing to create. You can't create something. You only can bring it in to alignment with your state of being. Right? The next one. Do you want to really achieve your dreams and your desires? It's very simple. Here's how you do it. Your dreams or your desires is either not possible or is possible. That's it. How do people look at it? My dreams and desires, hard to get. Got to put a lot of effort. I got to figure a way to get it. Got to figure a way out. Don't know if I can get it. Don't quite believe I can get it. Maybe I can get it. Okay? The next one. How many people say that may be possible? When you want to speed up manifestation and when you want to bring things into your life, make the rule of the game. Make the game simple, guys. Just go in two categories. It's either possible for what I want or it's not possible. That's it. You don't have to 100% buy into, I believe I gotta get it. We all can't do that. Not everybody walks around every day with 100% belief. That's kind of difficult to achieve. It takes practice. It takes discipline. It takes repetition. So the few pull it off, they manifest easily. But everybody can walk around saying this thing is possible without totally buying into a belief. And let me tell you why this will work for you. If you can go around every day and see what you want and say, yeah, that's possible. Here's what happens. Something magical starts happening behind the scenes. When you say it's possible, you connect with the quantum world, which is where you are from, which is what you and I are. And when you connect with the quantum world, you also connect with the infinite possibilities of whatever you want that was possible. Now, whatever you want that was possible now becomes probable. Now it moves from probability, at the same time it goes probable, actuality. So all I have to say is, man, yeah, that's possible. I can see myself with that. I didn't say I believe it. I didn't try to like boost myself up and try to build up this big belief thing and get my ego all in it and get discouraged. I just said, Mark, yeah, that's possible. I believe that's possible. Hey, if they can have it, I'm doing something very remarkable, man. I have just tapped into the quantum world. I've just opened up a portal of all the possibilities of that reality. And then because I just said it's possible, my subconscious, which is illogical, it buys it. Let me tell you something. Possibility to your subconscious mind means reality. Possibility to your conscious mind means maybe. Which one am I going for? Which one are you going for? Well, I'll school you on something else. Anything in the conscious mind will not get you manifestation. It will only get you observation. Anything in the subconscious mind will get you manifestation, which in turn your conscious mind observes the physical manifestation. Can I repeat that again? All right, here we go. Anything in the conscious mind only gets you observation. Looking at it, seeing it, being aware. Anything in the subconscious mind brings you tangible physical experience, which then transfers to my conscious mind to observe it. So you can't manifest in your conscious mind. So I definitely have to get into possibility, because to my subconscious mind, it's open for me to get it. Now, once I get into my possibility, all I have to do now is get into the state of being. I don't have to put effort to manifest. When you're doing effort to manifest, you are miscreating your life. Anytime you're pushing and you're forcing and you're putting a lot of energy, I'm telling you right now, you are miscreating your life. You and I are not designed. That's not how we were created, evolved. That's not in our blueprint. We weren't able to do that. We're not designed to do that. We are designed to become what we want in a feeling state, in a state of being, in a state of normality. That's how we truly work. So whenever I desire something, I embody what I desire by putting on a state of being. I kind of act like I act as if. I feel as if. I use questions as if. I say, you know, what would it look like to have that? Why do I have such and such? What would my life look like with da da da? That's how I operate. That's how it works. And then once I become a state of being, I'm now with what I want. And the next big misconception of manifestation is the distance thing. Things that I desire are things that I want. They're not here for me right now. They're like over there. They have to be conjured up. They have to create. And the reason why this is a big misconception, because our senses show us evidence that it's not here. But what you must learn about your senses, they are so wrong. 99% of the time your senses mislead you. That's correct. I just said 99% of the time your senses mislead you. So Mark, you're telling me right now that I'm looking outside and I'm smelling, I'm seeing the color red, I'm seeing the trees and the plants, and I'm seeing the people. I'm being 99% misled. Yes, I'm telling you, you're being 99% misled. I'm not telling you that. Science is telling you that. How's that true? Very simple. Here it is. You and I can only be privy to 1 to 2% of reality. 99% of reality is hidden from our senses. So, if 99% or 98% of the real truth or the real reality is hidden from us, our senses is what? Incorrect, right? Our senses can only show us, we're only seeing 2% of the truth. So that means 99% of our senses that we're using is incorrect. We're just seeing a tiny fraction of what's happening. So here's what's really happening. Whatever I desire, whatever I want, it's right in front of me right now. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at it. But again, my eyes and my senses aren't tuned to that dimension. But it's there. It's right there. Look, I'm touching it right now. But my fingers, my nerves, they're not picking it up. But I'm still touching it. So you know what I do? So since I have 2%, is there a way that I could bypass this stuff and get what I want? Oh yeah, there is actually a way. Dang. Since I can't touch it because I don't have the ability, I can feel it. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to feel what it's like. And here's the most profound thing. When I feel what it's like to have what I want, what I want is going to feel me back too. So it's going to come to me without no effort. And why is it going to come to me? Because it's conscious. It has awareness. It is aware at all times. The next misconception is nothing, only human beings are aware. Only human beings are conscious. That is false. Everything is conscious. The rock is conscious. The dollar you have is conscious. Fascinating new report just come out. Scientists are now saying, and researchers are now saying, that the sun is conscious. They are saying the sun is aware of what it's doing. See? I always give you breaking news, stuff that they don't put out in the mainstream media, but a group of scientists now researching how the sun discharges plasma, how it moves, how it oscillates with magnetic waves. They're saying that it is being done as if someone is aware of doing it, like it's conscious, like it's intelligent. But I knew this all along. I knew everything was conscious. I knew that the sun is conscious a long time ago. That's not news to me. Maybe news to you. But what does it say about the bigger picture? It says that everything that we see around us right now is actually tuned into our awareness and our frequency, and we can communicate back and forth with it, and it can communicate back and forth to us, including your mansion, your house, your car you want, the money you want. It is here for you right now. And this is why it's possible for you to have it, because it really is already there. So technically, it's easy for you to manifest what you want. That's the mindset you gotta have now. The double slit experiment, yes, you brought that up. That shows us a glimpse, that's just a tiny glimpse though, that observation affects reality. That simply means when I look at something, it's going to pop into my render. Remember, I told you guys this before, right? I said, this is my frame of reference. What I'm seeing is existing right now. When I turn away, everything goes back to the probability state. It doesn't exist as a definite thing. It's a probability. When I come back, it pops right back into the world. And it happens super fast. My eyes can't detect the gap of it. Therefore, it seems illogical. It doesn't make sense, because you and I can't see it. And we say, wait a minute. Remember I said that? I said when you walk out of your house and your home, your house disappears. It goes back into the, what we call superposition state. And when you come back up, it pops in. If I turn your head this way, this renders out of my reality. You're seeing it because you're a different observer from a different perspective. But if you do it to yourself, it happens the same way. But that's what physics says. Physics, when I turn this way, all of this stuff disappears. From my reference. When I come back, it pops in. Got it? How can you get the frequency of a millionaire? That's just, if you want to get the frequency, someone says, Mark, well, I struggle. That's what I'm struggling with. How can I get the frequency of a millionaire? How do you get the frequency of a millionaire? That's very simple if you want to get the frequency of a millionaire. It's very simple. Number one, in your imagination, what would your life look like as a millionaire for you? Congratulations, you just tapped into the frequency of a millionaire. The frequency of a millionaire is not one size fits all. It's tailored to each individual. A millionaire is a different frequency for each person. So for you, what does it look like for you to be a millionaire? You know, somebody could be a millionaire and just live in a very quiet, calm, cool life. They're not extravagant. They're still a millionaire though, but you don't know that because they're not dressing real flashy or anything, but they got millions of dollars. Someone else could be a millionaire and they're flashing it, which is all good too. So it depends on your imagination. So getting into the frequency of whatever it is you desire, it's about what you see in your head, man. It's what you see for you. Because you're the one that's going to experience it. Not the definition of a millionaire. It's your definition of a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever it is. So it's what your head conceives and says, this is what it feels like to be a millionaire. Congratulations, you're on the frequency of a millionaire. You're on the frequency of a billionaire. Nothing will come into your physical reality without these two things: visualization and feeling. If you can't visualize, you can feel. You can't feel, you can script. You cannot manifest anything without those. Your vocal cords, if you don't speak it out, if you don't visualize it out, if you don't feel it out, sometimes if you feel like writing it out, it's not going to come into your world. The reason why it's not going to come into your world, because you haven't given a direction to your unconscious. Your unconscious is waiting for you to direct it. It's saying, what is my order? What should I do for you? What is my bidding, master? I am here to serve you. Communicate to me in my language, and I will deliver to you what you want. The perfect time, and it'll come easy and effortless. Just communicate in my language, which is use your imagination, which is feel, which is question forms. What would my life look like as a multi-millionaire? How would it make me feel to have millions of dollars in my bank account? What would my life look like being healthy, young, and strong? That's my language, master. Just talk to me that way, and I will bring your bidding into your physical reality. Please don't go to your ego. He doesn't have the qualifications I have. It's not in his pay grade. So if it's not in his pay grade, you must come to me, and I will deliver for you your manifestation. Got it? See how simple that is? You do that. Thank you for Monica McDonald's. So, the game is quite simple, guys. We just make it difficult because there's so many information out there that we got to do this, you got to do that. The only thing you got to do is decide, is it easy for me to manifest this, or is it difficult for me to manifest this? And be saying it's easy for you to manifest it is you're triggering your subconscious mind to do the work for you. But if you want to take it up on your own to do it, you are not going to be very successful at this, because you can't do it on your own. Your own is in your conscious mind. If anybody is out here busting their ass with effort and pushing a lot and doing all this stuff, you are really miscreating, man. You have to flow. You have to make it feel normal. I'm not telling you don't have to go take some action. I'm not telling you to go have discipline. That's a different game. I'm just telling you, if you are overexerting yourself, and you know when you are, because you'll feel a lot of resistance, you'll feel a lot of drainage energy-wise, it's a clear sign that you're miscreated. Manifestation is not about creating, man. It's about aligning, as I said before. So this is something that's been broadcast into our head from the Matrix, and it's done in the physical world where you have to do office jobs, labor, things like that. So we adopt that mentality with our desires and our dreams, that we have to do the same thing. It doesn't work that way. You can sleep. Let me say something. There are dead people right now that are making more money than people who are alive. Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, every time a song plays, they're getting paid, and they're dead and gone. And they're not even here. And they're making more money than some people, but most of us are. Do you think about that? People making money in their sleep. This is what you do. This is expanding your awareness. Someone says, explain. Explain what? The person is dead. He's gone. His legacy, his music, his things, they have contracts. Even if he's dead and gone, every time his music plays, money goes to his estate. He's still getting paid. He's not even here to try. I'm just painting you a big picture just to show you how you have to think, how you have to expand your mind to show you that anything is possible. Yes, Bob Marley, everybody, they're gone, and they're making more money than me and you, most likely. So it's not about putting a lot of effort, man. It's about focusing, being, adopting the state of being, discipline yourself, keep the repetition, keep the habit, and let the subconscious do it, because this is the way the subconscious works. The subconscious works with repetition. It's not one track guide. It's not a one-time thing. You have to do it and do it and do it until it says, okay, I get it, and then I'm going to implement it. That's just how it was set up. Got it? Automation for consistency. Yes. So, here's the next one too, guys, that they put us in the matrix about, right? So this new research just came out, new study just came out too. See, I'm putting you guys on so much knowledge and game here. So this new research came out. Now scientists now have concluded that depression and anxiety, particularly depression, is not caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain. Yeah. So if you've been told, I got a chemical imbalance, and they put you on depression stuff, that's not true anymore. It's inaccurate. So what causes depression now? That's what they're saying. So what they're leading to, since depression is no longer caused by chemical imbalance now, what they're saying now, depression is caused by state of being, experience, trauma, social engineering, programming, the matrix. That's how people get depressed, by being programmed through the mainstream, through your phone. This is the major cause of depression. So now, if that's the major cause, you can reverse it. How do you reverse it? Because now you know it's not a chemical imbalance. Because if you're chemical imbalance, you can't do nothing about that, right? Your genetics says, hey, I'm just going to imbalance your chemicals, and you can't fix it. Now, you can reverse these things by mindset, meditation, avoidance. Stop looking at the mainstream. Stop watching things that get you anxious and put fear into you. Start putting your algorithm to things that motivate and inspire you. Sleep, diet, repeat. Your depression and anxiety will start to fade away. That is what the science is saying now. So if you're someone who's struggling with that, you can now reverse it back. I love this. Crypto Cat says, look at anxiety as a thief and change your mindset. So the main part of this is, guys, everything is being attributed to what we soak up in our awareness. So what is the world? The world is awareness. The world is feelings. The world is what we believe and expect. It's going to pop in. It's going to create that thing. And right now we are being led to generate a certain world, a certain reality, and it's called the matrix. The matrix uses our power to fuel its system. You and I are unconsciously help creating the matrix. Not you and I now. A lot of us now have broken free from that. So they're not taking our powers anymore, but they still have a lot of people they can use. But we're just a little dent, so they don't really focus on us. It's like a little dent. They're not worried about those chosen ones. They can't really change anything because we have the majority of the population, and it's true, they do have the majority of the population. All right? So you and I, and that's what's important, is you and I. So whoever find this video, your chosen one, is for you. It's your journey. It's your mission. So you and I, what we do is we watch the matrix from outside of the matrix, even though we're inside the matrix, if you know what I mean by that. It means that we are in the matrix, but we are not being affected by the matrix, because we have our own matrix in ourself, in our feelings. So we can adopt our state of being and bring it into the matrix we live in and experience abundance and success and all that, while everything around us is in crumbles and shit and chaos and depression. But we're still in the matrix, but we have a bubble. We have our own mini universe within the matrix, and we interact with everywhere we go. We meet people, they see us, your energy goes off on them, they look at you, they say, man, how can you be happy in this time? How are you being successful in this hard economic time? The reason why you're being happy and you're successful is because you're not in the hard economic time. They don't get that. They think you're in it. You're not in it. You're just projecting. You're projecting like you're in it, but you're not in it. because you're not being affected by it. And this is what they call, they say to you, that's an exception to the rule. So you'll always be the exception to the rule. And that is because if you don't know how reality works, let me give you an example. I'll show you something deep. So have you ever seen, like, when they show these images of these extraterrestrial beings and these other aliens, and there was an incident that took place in Zimbabwe in the early 90s, and there were 62 kids, and they witnessed the UFO craft came down in Zimbabwe. Very famous event that happened. 62 kids witnessed the UFO came down, and when the craft came down, the kids describe two beings in tight black suit, and the craft was there. It was suspended, like in suspended animation. The craft didn't touch the ground, but two beings, one being was standing by the craft, and the other being was running around the craft. But check this out. The being that was running around the craft was running in slow motion. So from the kid's point of view, he's looking at the being and says, why is that being running in slow motion? You see, what the being was doing, the being was in another dimension. It was in another reality. In other words, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dimensions, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. So he was in another dimension, peering into our dimension. So from our point of view, it looked like he was in slow motion. You see what I'm showing you? So we're looking in from a higher dimension. It's going to look trippy to us, but he was in another dimension, maybe in a future dimension. So, you know, time operates when you're in different dimensions, right? The faster you push the speed of light, it slows down, right? I mean, you can see that in satellites. When you put the satellite in the sky, gravity pulls it down. No less gravity, it moves a lot faster. So your GPS have to coordinate. The higher you go, time slows down. So I'm just showing you something that even though you're in the matrix, you could be in another dimension in the exact reality, but experiencing exact opposites of being in that dimension in the matrix, because your state of being is still there. Just like that kid was looking at the guy running, but he was seeing it in a little perspective. I mean, don't bust your brain with it. It's physics, it's science, it's quacky, it's weird, it doesn't make sense, but that's how the universe works. That's just how it is, and that's how we have to accept it. But my point is that yes, you can be in the matrix and everybody else is doing bad. It could be a recession and you're having your best year ever. Because why? Because you believed it was possible, you expected it, and you said it was easy for you to do. And you didn't put a lot of effort, you didn't push and force, you just adopted a state of being. You just felt like, man, this is for me, this is what should happen. I expect this. It's the energy we give out brings back our experience. So we are constantly in our own world within another world. So we are just, so when you're walking around the matrix, you're in the matrix, everybody doing their thing, you can actually go into your own world, which is another dimension. That's correct. Nothing can affect you unless you allow it to affect you. Got it? That's correct. Monica, you said it. The deeper you go, the trippier it gets. So just remember, what is it? Truth is always stranger than the fiction. That's what you got to keep in your mind when you're doing this thing, because as you evolve and you expand in your consciousness, you're going to meet a lot of trippy things along your journey. You're going to see things like miracles, prophecy, prophetic dreams, numbers, crazy synchro. That's just the beginning of it. You haven't even touched it yet, man. So you're on your way to experience some really fascinating stuff. All right? So remember that. Keep this mentality and you will change and adjust your life accordingly. All right. See you guys again.